Valorant are making a lot of little updates in their PBE today. At least 15 different agents have some slight change to their kit, as well as a few other general game updates that affect everyone. Some segments will be very short, but I've done my best to timestamp everything in the description, but it's better if you watch the whole video. There's a lot to cover here. I'll try and make it as brief as possible. I'll get Chamber out of the way first, but he does also have one additional change that wasn't mentioned anywhere yesterday, and that's that the health of his rendezvous anchor has gone from 80 down to 50, so a slight nerf to the health of that. And then the rest of his changes are as follows. His headhunter, you aren't going to be able to spam it as much. His teleport now only has one anchor with a 13-meter radius. The teleport activation height restriction has been removed. There is now a longer weapon equip time after teleporting, apart from the headhunter. Destroying the teleport anchor now disables it for the entire round, and Chamber no longer incurs an additional cooldown when recalling his anchor after teleporting, as well as that extra change I mentioned at the start. Obviously the same changes with his trademark. It now has a range restriction like Killjoy. You can now be recalled mid-round without line of sight, with a 30-second cooldown on that recall. The arm time has gone from 2 seconds to 4 seconds, and the health has been increased from 1 to 20, and you'll find that's going to be a common theme with a few abilities like that, where the health has gone from 1 to 20. Again, you said throughout the video. His ultimate has had the fire rate decreased by 58%, and the slow of both his trademark and ultimate has been reduced from 6 down to 4 seconds. Alright, so that's Chamber out of the way, and then most of the other agents just have a few minor changes here and there. Starting off with Breach, his ultimate has been increased from 7 ultimate points up to 8. Then onto Cypher, the health of his trapwire has been increased from 1 up to 20. For Fade, the health of her Prowler has been decreased from 100 to 60. For Harbor, he's got a few buffs, especially his E ability, his High Tide. The duration has been increased from 12 seconds to 15 seconds, so another 3 seconds on that. And then his Cascade or his C ability, the duration has been increased from 5 seconds up to 7 seconds. Now onto KO, his E ability, the 0-point knife. The health has been increased from 1 to 20, and his ultimate has also been increased from 7 ultimate points up to 8. Killjoy's Lockdown now has 200 health instead of only having 150, and the health of her Nanoswarm has gone from 1 to 20. For Omen, the cost of his Paranoia has been decreased from 300 down to 250. For Phoenix, the cost of his Blaze or his Molly has gone from 200 down to 150. For Raze, her Boombot, the health has been decreased from 100 to 60, but the Blastback health has gone from 1 up to 20. For Sage's Wall, the Fortified Delay has been increased from 3 seconds up to 3.3 seconds, so it takes a little bit longer to get to full health. And her Healing Orb now only self-heals for 30 HP, but you can fully heal a teammate for 100 HP again. For Sova, the health of his Recon Bolt has gone from 1 up to 20. For Skye, the cost of her Dog has gone from 250 up to 300, but the cost of her heal has gone from 200 down to 150. Viper has a few changes to her ultimate. The Smoke Integrity regen time has gone from 5 up to 25, but the max time out of the smoke has decreased from 15 down to 8. And the ultimate points required has gone from 7 up to 8 as well. And lastly, we have Yoru. The health on his Gate Crash has gone from 100 down to 60, but the cost has also been decreased from 200 down to 150. They've once again made some changes to the assist windows. You can see them all on your screen there. On top of all of those agent changes, Riot are also updating the damage interaction within the game. Essentially what this means is that abilities that output damage will now universally damage enemy objects that can be damaged. Bit of a mouthful, but basically things like Sage's Wall, Fade's Prowler, Chamber's Rendezvous, pretty much any physical ability can now be destroyed by any damaging ability. So that's things like Brimstone's Molly, Phoenix's Molly, Viper's Molly, Sova ult, stuff like that. And to go with those changes, they've also adjusted the damage multiplier for some abilities. So you can see here, pretty much every single damage dealing ability has gotten a nerf to non-players. So just as an example, Breach's Aftershock used to deal 250% damage to a Sage Wall. Now it's going to deal just 100% again. Most of these abilities you can see are going down, so they'll do less damage to non-player objects. Except for Raze, her Blast Pack is now nowhere near as effective against the wall, but the Paint Shells and Boombot now deal a little bit of extra damage as well. Again, that is just to non-players, so things like Sage Wall, Cypher Utility, all that sort of stuff. And to top it all off, Riot have nerfed the Spectre a little bit as well, so now it's going to be a little bit shorter range. Hopefully that wasn't too much to take in. If you didn't understand anything though, just comment and I'll try to explain it to you.